How we doing, people? Hope you're well. Hope you're all keeping cool. It's been a warm one. There's been some rain today where I am. I've not seen it for weeks, but finally we have some rain. But I hope you're all good. Thanks for joining us. And listen, I got to big up my guest, Lee Gunner. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm in the mud. Arsenal have won 2 Premier League games in a row, playing fantastic football, scoring goals. We've got the best striker in the league. The comparisons for Harry Kane are being flown around the internet. He's better than Kane. We've got the best centre-back in the league. He's better than Virgil van Dijk. I've seen that one as well, quite a lot. We've got the best manager. Even Piers Morgan's flipped, and now he's trusting the process. Somebody quizzed him on it and said, well, why? What took you so long? He said it was a process.
Oh, my God.
He's such a wind-up merchant. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man. And big up to everyone in the chat. Thanks for having me on again. Or is this the first time I've been on? I don't know.
First time on this channel, bro. First time on this channel. But
yes.
you've been on with me and Lee Judges, haven't you? But yeah, it's good to have you on, man, and good to return a favour. Been on yours a few times as well. But mate, I want to talk to you about all things Arsenal because things are looking up. The fan base will tell you the first 2 games has been good. We've looked very good, and the signing of Jesus has massively helped that, man. But before we got into the actual ins and outs of the 2 games you've seen in the pre-season, I just wanted to get your thoughts on where you stand at the moment with the pre-season that we've had, and also the transfer window, which, by the way, apparently is still open, but you wouldn't know it at the moment with what we're now doing. But what do you make of what we've done so far, bro?
Pre-season for me is just a training exercise. Like, I don't look too much into the results. To be fair, the game against Sevilla was fantastic. Yeah, the Chelsea one was good as well, really good. Battered up Chelsea, battered up Sevilla. But for me, that's just all about getting fitness. So yes, it's good for confidence as well going into the season. We can see that they are playing with confidence at the minute. And we've had 2 good results. Palace is always a sticky one for us. We've seen Hector Bellerin get absolutely roasted taking a throw in there before. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure we'll come to him later because I think he's leaving finally. But yeah, I think the way we've been playing in the pre-season, the way we've been playing in the first 2 games, you can see that they're running around, they're chasing everything, they're working for each other. But Dan, I've seen this last season when we won 5 straight games, when we went 11 games unbeaten in a different phase in that season. You know, that 11-game unbeaten run last season ended up with us being 7th. Then we won 5 in a row, and I think we were 4th. We were then 4th with 3 games to go, 4 points clear, and didn't do anything. And then in terms of the transfers, mate, the transfer window for me has been a bit of a shambles. I can't lie. We've still got Hector Bellerin here. We've still got Maitland-Niles here. We've still got Pepe here. Reece Nelson's now injured, so we can't get rid of him. Yeah, we've still got Runnelson's just landed in Turkey today. What a waste of a signing that was, by the way. Pablo Maria has finally gone. Again, what a waste of a signing, by the way. This was the left-sided centre-back that we desperately needed. Yeah, but apparently his talent ID, this manager, is insane. Really? Okay. Yeah, Runnelson, William, Cedric, Marie. Like, I could carry on listing players that he's signed.
Tavares.
Tavares, yeah. He scored 2 in 2 for Marseille.
He's a left winger now and he's scoring. Funny that.
Yeah, mad, isn't it? But yeah, I think it's been a bit of a shambles, the window. Like, we've signed 2 very good players in Jesus and Zinchenko, but I still think we need a right back. I don't think any of them right backs are good enough. Yeah, we can't trust Tommy Asu to stay fit all season. Cedric's not good enough. Ben White just ain't a footballer for me. Like, I don't care what anyone tells me. That guy, in a year's time, everyone will be saying is the seaside Mustafi. Get rid of him, right? Because, and I want to say as well, right? Saliba's come in. He ain't getting dropped. There's no way you can drop that kid. He's too good, right? So Tommy Asu's now back fit. Where's Ben White playing? We done 50 million on that. Yeah. So, but then people are saying, oh, but we've got strength in depth. Oh, okay. Yeah. Until Tommy Asu gets injured again, then we put Ben White back in, and then Cedric is back up. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? It's mad. Like, the funny thing is pre-season, we were winning quite a few games in pre-season. We then go and lose to Brentford, and all I kept hearing was, oh yeah, but it's the reserves, it's the backups. Well, these are the only backups we've got because we haven't gone out there and strengthened that squad sufficiently enough to get rid of these backups for better backups. Yeah, and I feel like we need a right back desperately. If we're going to get rid of Pepe, then we need a right winger because we can't rely on Saka to stay fit. I know he has been fit. Yeah, but the amount of games that boy's going to play this season, at some point he's going to get injured. Yeah, after 2 seasons flat out straight at 19 and 20 years old, to play that boy for about another 45, 50 games this season, we're going to burn him out, mate. So I feel like we need a right winger. I feel we need a destroyer in midfield. Potentially we need another centre-back for left-sided centre-back. If you want to go down that route, I couldn't care less what foot they are. Can they defend? But apparently
I agree.
It has to be a left-sided centre-back. So if Gabriel needs a bit of competition, because I feel he's been pretty average in the 2 games so far. I think he's been probably the weakest defender out of the 4. And that's not saying he's been rubbish, but he's been a bit of a liability at times. And I feel we need another striker and maybe another attacking midfielder. But then people keep telling me this Fabio Vieira is great. Well, how many games you watched him? Because as far as I know, none of these people watch Portuguese football, Dan. If they're telling me that the French league is a farmers' league, well, what's the Portuguese league then? Yeah, because that's worse than the French league. And all these people are now experts on Fabio Vieira that still can't get in a squad, that turned up in a protective boot because he broke a foot or a bone in his foot or something. And he's not going to be ready until probably November, by which time the World Cup's about to start. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel we need somebody in that position. Smith Rowe, we can't rely on all season because he's going to be injured. Tierney's going to be injured at times. Thomas Partey gets injured, we're done. Yeah, because the drop-off from there to El Neni and Lokonga, it's like chalk and cheese. If Eddie Nketiah is the backup to Gabriel Jesus, then we're in trouble. Yeah, them 2 positions. If I'm not so worried about the left back now, we've got Zinchenko, because if Tierney's out, we could put Zinchenko there. People would tell me, oh yeah, but you know, if Tomiyasu's injured, Ben White's more than capable. Okay, cool. I'll let that one go. But when Thomas Partey's injured, which he will be, based off of the evidence we've witnessed since he's been here, he played less games than Kieran Tierney last season. And all I keep hearing is get rid of Tierney, he's injury prone. Well, he played more games. In fact, he's played more games since Thomas Partey's been here in the Premier League than Thomas Partey before this season. So why aren't we getting rid of Thomas Partey if he's injured then? It makes no sense. I feel we need a mad cover in that position, mate. And I feel we need somebody as a striker, because the drop-off from Jesus to Nketiah is... And yes, it's great. Yes, the vibes are good. Oh, the atmosphere is great. Oh, the unity, all these buzzwords that keep coming out about unity. Maybe it's the fact that nobody was allowed to go football for 2 seasons, that everyone's actually enjoying being at football more. Yeah, maybe that. Do you know what I mean? Yes, there's a great vibe around the club. Of course there is, because 99.9% of the journalists that write only for Arsenal Football Club are peddling out positivity, which then gets put out to all the fans that have the biggest accounts that then push out positivity. Then you have the ex-players that push out positivity because they were an ambassador at the club, or they want to get in at the club, or they've got a mate that works at the club, or their kids in the academy or something. I don't know. So it's all positivity. And then when you've got people like us, Dan, that want to come out there and say, well, actually, what about this and what about that? Oh, you're a Spurs fan. It's so
I get that a lot, man. Go and support Tottenham. I don't get that. I never have.
Dan, the four or five things I get aimed at me: you're toxic, you're negative, you're a Spurs fan, you've got mental illness. What? Because I want to win a title, and I've waited 18 years to win one, and we've done 400 million nearly. We've done more. We've outspent Liverpool 4 summers in a row. Why can't we compete? If they can compete, why can't we compete? Yeah. And people are saying, "Oh, the landscape was different." Are these people gardeners? What do you mean the landscape was different? They went and spent 70 million on Van Dijk. Yeah, they went and done 70 million on a goalkeeper. What are you talking about? The landscape was different. You start to pay.
Do you know what's different as well? The reason it's different is you can't compare it, Lee, is because actually what we actually did was completely different to what Liverpool did. In terms of Klopp, it was an already a proven manager, and Klopp actually got in his first full season Liverpool back into the Champions League top 4, and he won a Champions League a couple of years after. So you can't compare that to the Arsenal. And he lost the final in between that. So you can't compare that, man. I don't know why people try to do that. Listen, I think Arsenal have clearly got this plan. My question mark was it going to work? And it hasn't worked so far. The way I've seen things change this window has been quite positive with the signing of Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko. I don't know anything about Marquinhos. I don't know anything about Fabio Vieira. And those that say they do know, in my opinion, are just lying, because I don't know anybody that had Fabio Vieira on their wish list this summer. There's nobody I know that had him on the summer transfer list. But actually, he's supposed to be a really good player. Now, I look at his stats and it looks pretty good. I'm not really a stats man personally, but I look at the 14 assists that he got last season. Let's hope he can do that, because I've not got the faith that Ødegaard can get that many assists personally. But Let's talk about some of the positives, Lee, because there has been some in pre-season and obviously at the start of this season. And one of those is, of course, Gabriel Jesus. I really like what I see from this guy, man. So I wanted to get your opinion on what you think he could do for us this season, mate.
Well, he's got a point to prove, hasn't he? To himself, because he was at the best club in the league and they've let him go. Erling Haaland's obviously come in and they've let him go. So he's got a point to prove to himself that is he actually an elite footballer? He's got a point to prove to Pep to say, well, you shouldn't have let me go. He's got a point to prove to the Brazil manager because at the moment, I think he scored 1 in 20 games for Brazil. And I think Richarlison gets picked before him. So he's got a point to prove there. But to be honest, he's been unreal. Yeah. He's been absolutely unreal since he's been here. Having said that, there is a World Cup coming up, Dan. And he wants to be on the plane. So he's going to run his nuts off. He's going to work his nuts off. And that can only be good for us. It's after that World Cup that I want to see. Can he carry on doing what he's doing now? Because let's say he goes there, has a great World Cup. He'll come back and hopefully kick on. Yeah. If he goes there and has a shocker and Brazil have a shocker, will that dent his confidence? Will he come back and think, oh, well, I made it to the World Cup, but do you know what I mean? And it depends where we're sitting in the table as well with that back end of the season coming up with 15, 20 games to go, whatever it'll be by the time the World Cup ends. Not only that, we got to hope he stays fit, mate. Yeah, real talk. Yeah, because we're in big, big trouble. And if he's not fit, I think we're pretty shafted. Him and Thomas Partey, like I said a minute ago. And in terms of what he can do, from what I've seen so far, he looks like he's on it, mate. And his first goal the other day was just a joke. That was like watching Alexis Sanchez. Yeah, against Ødegaard, like the way he just dinked it, and he's like buzzing. He's everywhere. Like he's so quick with his feet, and I've liked what I've seen. But I'm always cautious when a player comes to a club, and they start performing, because we see this with Aubameyang, we see this with Willian. I'm not comparing Jesus to Willian in terms of levels of footballer and stuff like that. Right? But Willian got a hat-trick of assists on his debut, and everyone was making out he was going to be the top assist in the league and all of this and that. All that ended in tears. I've seen Aubameyang turn into the scapegoat in the last couple of seasons when he was the man that won this manager an FA Cup. Yeah, let's be real. He single-handedly won us the FA Cup with them 2 goals in the final. And I've seen Lacazette go from, oh, he's got the work rate. Oh, yes, he's better. Oh, he's brilliant. He holds the ball up. He works hard. Well, you should work hard. You're a Premier League footballer. Yeah, that should be a given. So, yes, Jesus has got work rate. Yes, Jesus has got the talent. Yes, he can score goals. How long can we keep that going for is the question. I don't know. If I was to say that he would stay fit all season, I'd say he scored 12 to 18 league goals. Is that enough to get us anywhere near a title? Probably not. Is it enough to get us in the top 4? Maybe. But it depends what the wingers do. We know Ødegaard's not going to score loads of goals. Yeah, we know that Smith Rowe can't stay fit, but if he is fit, he'll bag. But he won't bag 15 or 20. He'll get maybe 10. Saka, we know, will chip in with goals. Martinelli will get some goals. Eddie will get the odd 5-10 goals. But is that then enough? I feel we're lacking in midfield. We need like a Maddison-type player that can drive forward, get in the box, take chances, have shots. We don't have that with Ødegaard. Ødegaard floats out to the right wing. And like when he's not in the game, he's not in the game, is he? No, Maddison, I didn't even notice he was on the pitch until he scored the other day. And I like Maddison.
Yeah, I really like him.
Yeah, and then bang, goal. And that's what we need. We need a player in that position that can create for Jesus, which Ødegaard probably will. He will create chances. But what kind of chances are they? Yeah, because these created chances stats, Dan, they're just a joke. I think he was up number 1 or number 2 or something on created chances last season. And then when you actually dissect it and break it down to big created chances, i.e. you've put it on a plate, it was 6. Yeah, which was joint 40th in the league. Yeah. Well, come on. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was getting done by players that play for Everton that nearly got relegated. You know, so I feel we need somebody that can supply Jesus, but also take the pressure off of Jesus from that midfield role. And we ain't got that. We ain't got goals from centre mid.
Yeah. Listen, I think what you're talking is straight facts with a lot of that stuff, bro. And I think that what I'm seeing from Jesus is really exciting. I'm totally with you. I still think there's work to do. And I believe, Lee, The reason I wanted us to be linked with two players, one being Jesus, one being Tammy Abraham, was because I felt like they both give profile of what strikers that we were currently lacking. One being Jesus, who can do a bit of everything. Tammy Abraham, who knows where the goal is, clearly under Mourinho. He's absolutely killing it at Roma. And also he's got the attributes to be a good profiled striker who can actually be a bit of a target man and have an aerial threat, because I still feel that we lack a bit of an aerial threat. I know Jesus scored a header at the weekend, but he's not the tallest, neither's Eddie. I don't look at any of those and think, wow, there's an aerial threat in the box there. So I still feel we're lacking there. Definitely think we need a destroyer to replace Thomas Partey, because we know he's going to get injured. We also need, in my opinion, a right back, because I don't look at Norton Cuffy as ready. I don't rate Cedric. I don't think Ben White can play there long term. And Tommy Asu is always injured. I don't want Bellerin coming back into this side. So we definitely need a right back, mate. So my question to you is, what do you see happening in the current transfer window in terms of players in? Because we know a few players are going out. Me personally, I can see another midfielder and potentially another forward that can play across the three, but I could be wrong. What do you think is going to happen, mate?
Well, I've seen something today. I think The Athletic posted it, saying that the only way we go and buy a midfielder, Tielemans, is if Granit Xhaka goes. About 3 hours later, it was put out there that Xhaka's vice captain. So
is he really
going anywhere? He's
Xhaka is vice captain.
He's vice captain. Jesus, him and Jesus are the backup captains.
Where's White Tierney? Is he going then? Tierney better not be leaving. I'll tell you this now,
bro. It's mad, but yeah, I don't.
Where's that? Has that been announced proper officially?
Yeah, it was well, David Ornstein posted it out.
Oh my God, that's shocking, mate. Tierney was our captain last season, ahead of Ødegaard, and then because of his injury record, now we're not giving it to him anything. We're not even giving him a vice captaincy. Mate, that was my pick for the captaincy. I wanted him to be my captain.
The two captains of this football club, apparently they've got great leadership qualities, and we've seen none of that in that All for Nothing documentary.
No, we haven't.
Literally
mate.
none
That's
of it.
worrying.
I didn't even know Ødegaard was in it until he was punching the chair up at Aston Villa. Yeah, we're celebrating the win. I've not seen him in it. And as for Granit,
he's not heard a peep.
The only time I've seen Granit Xhaka in that documentary was when it's, oh, poor Granit. Oh, you don't realise what it's like. I'm a human being. And then it's a sob story from his wife. Nobody cares, mate. Yeah? Like, did he stop and go and liaise with the fans and talk to the fans after the game? Because he keeps banging on social media, or in the media, sorry, that he wants to get involved with the fans more. They should come to training and we should allow them in. Okay, mate. Well, when you drove out the football stadium at the weekend and turned right and drove under the bridge past the Tollington, there's a leisure centre on the right opposite that. Did you park there, get out of the car and go in the pub? Go and have an orange juice or something and go and talk to all the fans that you really want to get to know? No, you didn't, did you, mate? You drove straight through the traffic lights and went home. Yeah, so talk is cheap with that guy. I can't stand him, mate. He's one of the worst footballers I've ever seen at Arsenal, and we've seen some bad ones, which is why he needs replacing. The problem is he ain't getting replaced. So now what do? Because we passed up the opportunity to go and sign Yves Bissouma because we got Thomas Partey. So now we've got El Neni strapped up to a new deal when he was a free agent, and we've got Sambi Lokonga who ain't ready. Right, so that's the backups to Partey. So we ain't going to get a destroyer in midfield to back up Partey. Granit Xhaka, I know for a fact it is in his contract. If he's fit, he plays. Fact. Absolute fact. Yeah, same with Bellerin, by the way. But obviously he's leaving. Yeah. I know for a fact, mate, 100%. And it's the same. It's funny because Man United have got Maguire, Rashford and McTominay all on a similar deal. Yeah, which is why Ten Hag can't drop any of them, really, because they have to play a certain amount of games. Otherwise, the club owe them money. Like, it's breaking the contract. It's the same with Granit Xhaka, mate. I know for a fact that is in his, or it was in his last contract anyway. Obviously, he's renewed the contract. But anyway, so are we going to replace Granit Xhaka? Probably not, because now we've got Zinchenko. And Zinchenko can play the Granit Xhaka role. So what are we then going to go and replace Ødegaard? Probably not. We've got Vieira. I'm not convinced we're going to go and get a midfielder, if I'm honest. And if we don't, mate, we're in big, big trouble. Compare that midfield to even Tottenham's midfield or Chelsea's midfield with a finished N'Golo Kante. Like, it's still miles clear of ours, Chelsea's midfield. You know, Tottenham's midfield, they had Bissouma on the bench yesterday.
Yeah, they did. They did. Listen, mate, if we don't improve that midfield, then on Arteta and Edu's head be it, because it isn't going to be good enough, mate. I actually thought Granit Xhaka played well at the weekend. I must admit, I don't like him. I'm with you. I don't think he's a very good player. I don't like him and look at him and go, wow, like some Arsenal fans will have you know. But I do look at him and think in the last couple of seasons that he's been an okay midfielder, and that's probably the best compliment I could give him, because I just don't really rate him, mate. I don't really look at him and go, wow. I do think we need an upgrade.
You know he's going to nose up 6 games a season.
100%. 100%. And this is my problem.
He's going to completely ruin the game. He'll get a straight
and this is my thing,
card,
Lee. You know,
judges give a penalty away. Yeah, do something stupid, not track a runner. 2 foot someone in the box.
Judges said to me, you know, at a weekend, judges went, oh, look, you know, Dan, if Partey's passing was as bad, sorry, if Xhaka's passing was as bad as Partey's at the weekend, you'd be slating him and saying he was caught. Yeah, I probably would. Do you know why? Because Xhaka's done it for 6 years. Partey ain't. Partey's done it for what, a year and a half, and he's been injured for half of it. When he does play, he looks decent. So I can't compare the two, you see. So for me, with Granit Xhaka, I can't forgive people that make the same mistakes year in, year out, and he does. He gives goals away. His passing at times is sloppy, and his discipline is shocking. There's no
even in that game. Sorry to cut you off. Even in that game, when they went through with Wesley Fofana, and he dropped the shoulder past Gabriel and nearly scored, that was Xhaka who was dallying on the ball again. Why is that guy always the one? And to be fair to him, I thought he had a great game. Yeah, that was the only thing he probably did wrong in that game. Right? And people go, oh, why are you digging him out then? I'm digging him out because if that was Jamie Vardy, that's in the back of the net and we're 1-0 down. Yeah, it was lucky it was a centre-half walking in there, right? Instead of a striker walking in there. Because on another day, that's 1-0 down. The Emirates Stadium's not jubilant and buzzing and lively and singing Super Mick Arteta. And now we're up against it. Yeah, to be fair, both times we conceded, we've got straight back in the game.
We bounced back. Yeah.
But again, Dan, it's Leicester. We should be beating Leicester with all due respect. It's Crystal Palace. I know they're a bit of a bogey team for us, but we should be beating them. You know, we're Arsenal Football Club. We spend a lot of money. We spend a lot of money every summer, not just one summer and then don't spend again. We spend every summer. We've done £1 billion in 9 seasons. How dare we want a title challenge? How dare we? Like, it makes no sense. Since Emery's first season, since that summer when he took over, I think we've done £500 million. You know what I'm saying? £500 million, man. Yeah, 18 season, £500 million, 486 million, I think it is. But then all you get told is, oh yeah, but he inherited a mess. The club was toxic. He's had to overhaul everything. How did he win the FA Cup with a toxic squad then?
Great point.
And then, ironically,
with Emery's side, and then we can't say that because when you say, "Oh, it's Emery's side," people won't have that either, will they? That's what I don't get.
No, because it's Super Mick. He knows exactly what we need. But the thing is, Dan, how many players from that squad on that FA Cup win are still here? He's literally ripped up 90% of that squad and won nothing since with his own players. Not even got us close to winning anything. And this is the thing. It's like, if you say that, you're in the tiny minority and it's, oh, why are you so negative? Oh, no, because this stuff needs to be called out. And who else is going to call it out? The ex-players ain't going to call it out. They're all on the payroll. Yeah, the journalists ain't going to call it out. They write solely for Arsenal Football Club. They do.
Yeah, no, you're right. They do. You're right, mate. You are right, bro.
They are right. The chief sports writer of this newspaper, but I only cover Arsenal. Yeah, well, that's never going to end well. Yeah, because you got to keep getting in at the club and you got to keep getting the clicks. See what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a Man United fan on Twitter. I read a thread out a minute ago on my channel, right? And everything he was saying about Manchester United and the ex-players, the Twitter accounts, the YouTube channels that are associated, and he said when you start monetizing your views, and it'll be to the detriment of the football club long term. And he was going about the journalists, the YouTube channels. Right? He said they ride the wave. Yeah, if you want them to be Ollie out, they'll be Ollie out that day if the traction's going to get them. If it's going to get loads of traction, if it's Ollie in and they seal the traction, they're going to be Ollie in. Obviously, it's going to be the same with Ten Hag and the Glazers and so on and so forth. Right? It's been exactly the same at Arsenal, Dan, for years. Yeah, if like look at the Everton game. I watched your fan cam after that Everton game. Everything you said was spot on, mate. And I watched, and I don't normally watch them, but I watched pretty much all of the fan cams that day. And 99% of people on that channel and all over social media were saying, that's it, that's enough. Straw that broke the camel's back, get him gone. So what's changed then? Because we ain't won nothing. We bottled top 4. And at that stage, he'd done 250 million. Why didn't he get sacked? Why?
Yeah, I must admit, I spoke to a few people about that, and also after that was the what game? The Villarreal game.
Yes,
was the other one for me. That was the other game for me. Was what's happened there? Was the
I thought it was on a loop.
Buttons.
Every
Yeah. It's like one of those LED lights. It changes different colours after every meet. But yeah, it was the Villarreal go for me. Everybody said he wanted him out. He's got to go. He's got to go. I've had enough of it. And then we started to do another little unconvincing run that you always say. And it's bizarre, isn't it? Because then it changes. But I've seen a little bit of a difference this season and pre-season for the pure fact that we've got some better players in. Now, this team, I think this is where me and you probably do disagree. It's bad because me and you hardly ever do. But where I disagree is I actually quite like the players. I actually do. I think the team is good. I don't think the manager's good enough. And that's who I'm looking at to prove me wrong. I quite like most of the players. I look in the tunnel and I think, yeah, I like Tierney. I like Ramsdale. I don't mind Tomiyasu. I know he's always injured, but I think he's good. I like Gabriel. I like Saliba. I'm a big fan of Thomas Partey, Martinelli, Saka, Smith Rowe, Jesus, Zinchenko. I like it. That team should be good enough to be so much better than what this guy's got it with. And I think the problem I've got with Mikel Arteta is, can you then prove me wrong, win that Europa League, get us as close to Liverpool and City as we are? I'm not expecting us to win the league because I don't think we have got the players good enough in terms of a squad that Manchester City and Liverpool have. But I certainly think we should be finishing ahead of most of the other teams in that league. So I'm looking at third place this season, and people will say that's unrealistic. Why? Look at the money we've spent. Look at the players we've brought in. This manager should be good enough now in 3 years' time, because people say to me, he's not experienced enough yet. Well, he's had 3 years now. Like, what does that mean? Nothing then to these people. He's had 3 years now getting into it. I just got to bring up a quick comment, Lee, because I get this all the time, and you're now getting it as well. And I want your thoughts on this. Shawnee is saying 95% of Lee's content is complaining about people calling him negative whilst he's being negative. I get this all the time. I don't think people understand this, mate. People do not understand.
Go and check out my fan cam at the weekend, mate, and the one the week before, and the Sevilla one, and tell me I'm negative, yeah? 140,000 views between the 3 of them, 3 wins.
There we go. And I don't get, and the thing is, Lee, with this negativity stuff, because I get it quite a lot, bro, as well. Oh, Dan's just negative, Dan's just toxic. Don't give me something to be negative about them. The club are at times in an absolute mess. Do you think I'm going to sit there and start getting the flags out and start getting me shirts up and down, go, way, 8th place, 5th, way, we're on progress? I don't do that. It's just mad.
This is the thing, though. Right? Big up to him for watching, yeah? Right? And this is opinion. He can say what he wants. But if you're putting it on the internet, it means I can rip it apart if I want. And same as if I'm putting something out there, you can rip it apart. That's the nature of the beast. Yeah, if it's out there, people have got the right to reply to it. Yeah, for me, when people say you're negative, right? Okay, how's it negative to want to be the best? Nobody can answer that question. How is it negative that when you have watched your football club that you've supported for nearly 40 years go from being the best to smashing a stadium down to continue being the best and not win a title since? How is that in any way, shape, or form positive? Yeah, in terms of the ownership of this football club, last season, you, my friend, were probably jumping up and down, Shawnee, going, oh, get him out, Cronky out, Cronky out. And then they dropped Martin Ødegaard and Aaron Ramsdale, and you probably went, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't flip-flop, mate. Yeah, This football club has been a shambles for at least 10 years. An absolute shambles. The players, the money, the manager, managers, yeah, the hierarchy of this football club have been an absolute disgrace. Yeah, and people are sitting there and say, yeah, but Arteta and Edu are trying to sort it out. No, they ain't. No, they ain't. Yeah, why is Ødegaard captain? Why? Because most of the people online that support our football club are probably the same age. Here you go, 23, 24-year-old. It's true. Man's got nice veneers that he's paid for, and he's got a pretty smile, and he's got nice blonde hair, and he's captain of Norway. Like, Dan, the third most views on my channel comes from Norwegians. Right? It's UK, America, and Norway.
Wow.
I've not found a single Norwegian in my chat that rates Martin Ødegaard. They don't know why he's captain of Norway. They don't get it. Wow. And this is the thing. When it's negative to call out and wanting better footballers at your club, when people sit there and go, well, who do you want then? Yeah, manager-wise, player-wise, they instantly rip it apart. So somebody said to me the other day, instead of moaning about the players that we've got. Why don't you give us a solution and tell us players that you want? I said, what's the point, mate? Because I'll give you a list of names and you'll just rip it all apart. What's the point? Yeah, I'll mention Basuma. Oh, but he had a court case. Really? Well, that went well, didn't it? Yeah, I mentioned Ivan Toney. Oh, you don't know ball. Ivan Toney is light years clear of Eddie Nketiah, my friend.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, did you see the pass he did the other day for their fourth goal? Yeah, mad, absolute top footballer. I'd say go and get Pedro Neto from Wolves. Oh yeah, but he's injured. He had one injury. He's 21 years old. He fits the Project Youth rubbish. And the way I see it is this football club has deliberately, by design, lowered the standards even more by going and getting a young manager and a young squad. Because now, what is the easiest way to get all the people on side? Oh, just go and lower the standards and get a load of kids. Because now it's, oh yes, they'll all grow together. Yeah, they'll all be great. This is a thing that I see all the time, by the way. And I know I'm having a bit of a rant here, Dan. Yeah.
No, go for it, man.
It's very easy for a manager to control a group of kids, which is what this manager is doing essentially, is controlling Project Youth. Yeah. You can't talk and do some of these team talks and do some of the things he's done, the way he acts in the dressing room with experienced players, because they'll just sit there and rip him apart. I mean, what's Nicola Pepe thinking when he's seeing Granit Xhaka getting cuddled at Anfield after being sent off, when that manager stood in front of the public at Leeds United and absolutely roasted him? Yeah, what's Pepe thinking? Why do you think Pepe don't play? Pepe's probably said something. Don't play.
Yeah, I hated that. I absolutely hated that. I thought that was terrible for him to come out and say, oh, Granit Xhaka was just a little bit passionate when he got sent off. And then he gets Pepe headbutting. It wasn't even a headbutt. He put his head against him. Absolute disgrace, he says. Absolutely disgrace. I mean, that is poor man management. You know, it is. And I don't want to,
in a nutshell, Dan. His man management stinks. Yeah. He couldn't control Guendouzi. What are you talking about? And this is the mad thing with the Guendouzi one, is he came in for what, 7-8 million? I went that whole season pretty much, and I was like, wow, like, who is this kid? At the end of that season, he was rated at 50 million quid. We've just let him go for 10 mil.
Mad.
Unbelievable. Why did he go? Oh, because he didn't apologise to the players. Why should he apologise to his teammates? He was back in Burnt Leno. He was standing up for his teammate, showing a bit of heart and hunger for his team. Yeah, and instead, this dopey fan base want to sit there and go, oh, well, he choked Malpai. You lot were all tweeting, oh, ha, ha, look at Malpai when you did it. But now Arteta's saying, no, you're going on loan.
I hear that.
Unbelievable, mate.
I hear that, mate. And do you know what? It was even funnier just on that point is, were they doing the same when Keown jumped on Van Nistelrooy in 2004 then?
Exactly.
That's what I don't get. It's
exactly,
mad,
man. But it didn't fit the narrative. It don't fit the narrative, because now what he's basically doing is getting rid of every single player that Unai Emery signed. Apart from Tierney. And listen, Tierney might even go by the end of the window.
Yeah, I know, that's mad.
Yeah,
I'm really disappointed he's not been vice captain, mate.
I'm disappointed he ain't been in starting. He's been playing Zinchenko. Why? Oh, but he's just been back from injury. And I know it ain't mattered for 2 games. Kieran Tierney is our best left back by a country mile. Zinchenko
I agree.
Better left back than him. Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he was good again. He was another one I thought was really good at the weekend, Zinchenko. But you're right. I love Kieran Tierney. I wanted him as my captain, and it really worries me that he can't get ahead of Jesus, who's never been a captain in his life, let's be honest, from what I can make out anyway. Unless I'm wrong there. Someone please let me know if I am. And Granit Xhaka, who's already had the armband, threw it on the floor, told us all to F off, and now we're the only club that are picking it up the floor and putting it back on his bloody arm. What the hell is going on there?
He's lucky he's here. And the mad thing about it is, he's going to be here until he probably retires, which is kind of sickening. Because can you genuinely see, with Martin Ødegaard and Granit Xhaka as captain and vice captain, us actually winning anything? I mean, if you're Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, you must be sitting there wetting your knickers, mate, going up against Ødegaard today. Like, mate, there's not a single team.
Let's come on to Ødegaard, man, because there's a couple of questions in the chat that I wanted to bring up around that, and I'm with you. I've questioned Ødegaard for the last couple of seasons, and people have said, oh, you're really harsh on Ødegaard. I'm not. I actually think he's a really good footballer to watch technically. I just question his goal ratio and his assists. That's all I've done. And people seem to think I hate the guy. I wanted Maddison 2 years ago, and Maddison has proved to me that he can score and assist. He got 18 goals in all competitions and 12 assists last season. Ødegaard got 7 goals and 4 assists. That, to me, you don't have to be great at maths to work out which one had the better season. The reason he doesn't, mate, is because Craig's brought up a great one here. Ødegaard doesn't pull the trigger enough. I get so annoyed with this guy. He doesn't want to shoot, Lee.
Ozil-esque. And do you know what that shows to me? Lack of character, lack of leadership. And this is our leader. It is more interested in passing the buck to someone else than actually pulling the trigger himself. Ozil used to do it all the time. Yeah, to be fair, I probably shouldn't compare him and Ozil, because Ozil, as much as I can't stand Mesut Ozil, is levels clear of this guy. Yeah, even a finished Ozil, I'd take over this guy. I do not rate him. I've never rated him. There's a reason Real Madrid got rid of him. There's a reason he only played 11 times for Real Madrid in 7 seasons, or 6 seasons, whatever it was. Yeah. Oh, but he signed when he was 15. Well, if he was that good, he'd still be there, wouldn't he? But and let's be real here, Dan. How many players have Real Madrid got rid of in the last 5 years, 10 years, that have actually gone on to do greatness afterwards? Not many. Yeah, Kovacic, you could say, is one of them. Ronaldo's another one. Can you think of any else? Because I can't. Maybe the chat can. Di Maria. Yeah, Di Maria. Yeah, but we're kind of struggling. So when people sit there and say, oh, yeah, he's really good, based off of what? Based off of what exactly? Well, oh, he's got pretty passes, and a footballer can pass. Well done. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you actually go on the Premier League website, because people love to talk about stats with this guy, yeah? They love to talk about his created chances. Created chances is the biggest and worst stat out there. I passed you on the halfway line, you shoot. I created a chance. Assist stats are the same. Granit Xhaka got an assist for Gabriel Jesus' goal the other day, the first goal. Like, it's not an assist, is it? Yeah, it was a pass. Yeah, and there's a difference. Created chances, Dan, is a myth. It is stupid. It is pathetic. If you can have a look at the created chances he did last season, yeah, he's right up there. Right up there. Oh, yeah. But then it's, but we had Lacazette and Aubameyang missing sitters. Okay. So how many of them were big chances created? 6. Christian Eriksen came into Brentford in January and got 5. Kulusevski and Bentancur started their first games in February and got the same amount as Martin Ødegaard, playing in apparently a worse team, because apparently we're better than them. So how come Kulusevski and Bentancur both get the same amount of big chances created? Oh, but they got Harry Kane up front. All right, so what you're saying is a good striker can turn a half chance into a big chance. Is that what you're saying? All right, so who knew? Maybe go and buy some better players. Like, and this is the thing, right? I get really wound up when I see people sitting there going, Ødegaard this, Ødegaard that. Mate, I've seen Dennis Bergkamp play for Arsenal. I've seen Paul Merson play for Arsenal. And they started getting their pants down for Martin Ødegaard, who couldn't get a game at Madrid. Dani Ceballos plays for Madrid, by the way. Dani Ceballos plays week in, week out for Madrid, pretty much. So why couldn't this guy? Because if you said who's the better out the two, 9 out of 10 fans would say Ødegaard. So why can't he get a game at Madrid? Why can't he overhaul 39-year-old or 38-year-old Luka Modric? Why? Because he ain't good enough. Carlo
Listen,
don't cost much, mate. Trust me. This guy is not good enough, right? And you're right about not pulling the trigger. You're right about these stats in terms of goals and assists. And for that reason, we should just bin him off and go and buy someone better. Maddison's perfect. But then all you get, as soon as he scores a goal, oh, yeah, what's Maddison done? Oh, Maddison scored and he weren't. I didn't even know he was on the pitch at the weekend, Maddison. Yeah, he was shocking. First chance, bang, goal. Yeah, and that is the difference. And that is the difference between taking you from 5th to 2nd to 1st, or from 5th to 4th in our case, or from Europa League semi to Europa League final. That is the difference when you've got a player that can go into the penalty box, jink round 1 or 2, bang. Yeah, and we ain't got that in midfield. You know, Granit Xhaka, cool, he scored the other day. Thomas Partey, I mean, just stop shooting, mate. Like, he thinks he's at Twickenham, the fella. Like, they all sail over the bar, all down the Hornsey Road, bouncing down the road. It'll end up in the Tory. Like, do you know what I mean? It's embarrassing, like, the shooting on that guy. I like Thomas Partey, but just stop shooting, mate. Martin Ødegaard, start shooting. Because when he shoots, he does actually score goals. Look at the goal against Man United. Yeah, do you know what I mean? He got in the box, bang, goal. Why don't you do that more often? I'll tell you why.
Yeah, listen.
Because he hasn't got the character or the leadership to say, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to make myself count today. Yeah, oh, no, actually, I'll pass it over there. I used to cuss Ozil for it all the time. Yeah, the amount of goals Ozil could have scored, but he's weak with it. I went, oh, no, you have it. Yeah, oh, look, I'm the assist king. Like, who cares? Apart from 14-year-olds. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, I'm not as harsh on Ødegaard as you, man. I do like him in terms of his technical ability. I think he's a good footballer. I just question whether we're going to see goals and assists from him, and that's what I've demanded from him this year. Just going to whack up a couple of comments. Hendon Guna says Ancelotti binned Gibraltar guard as soon as he got back to Real Madrid.
Exactly.
Carlo knows. But we have got Sophie in the chat. Big up, Soph. Get yourself over to Hybrid Squad and subscribe to the channel. She disagrees, mate. She's saying Ødegaard's a player who works in the shadows. He'll not steal the headlines. As a showman player. Without him at the weekend, we would never have won. Stop the madness. There we go. Sophie's a big fan of Ødegaard.
I can't lie. I did not know Ødegaard was on the pitch at the weekend. I didn't know that Saka was on the pitch, and I didn't really see Ben White. That whole right-hand side was pretty much obsolete at the weekend because everything.
Yeah, Saka. I'll go with you. I'll go with that. The right side was definitely a lot weaker.
The thing is, Dan, right? Like, she's just saying big up to her. Yeah, she's just sat there and said he works in the shadows. Well, he's a number 10. I don't want him working in the shadows. I want him pinging goals. Like, did Bergkamp work in the shadows? No. Bergkamp used to go and get goals and win games himself. Individual brilliance. Yeah. He'd lay him on a plate for his teammates. You know, we've seen Mesut Ozil go and win games. Not often, by the way, himself. But he will do a little bit of brilliance and do the bounce goal against Liverpool. He'll create chances and put them on a plate. Yeah, not just creating chances. He would do that as well. That are half chances that go down as a chance, so it looks great in stat pads. But he would actually win football matches by laying them on plates for people. Yeah, if you're playing in that number 10 position at Arsenal, which, let's be real, how many teams even have a number 10? There's not many clubs that play with a number 10 in the Premier League.
No, I think they're kind of dead in football. I think these attacking eights I like. But
yeah, exactly.
That's the way I see
There's not many teams that play with a number 10. Man City don't use a 10. Liverpool don't use a 10. And they're the two best teams in the league. We persist with having this flashy little footballer, yeah, that's good on the eye, but don't really do anything. Runs around a lot. Yeah, he covered more mileage than anyone at the weekend. But Ozil used to do that. Yeah, and it's just running around for running around's sake, just jogging constantly. Oh, half press. Oh, I'll half stick a leg out. To be fair, Ødegaard normally does do that really well, the pressing. At the weekend, I didn't even know he was on the pitch, mate. Real talk. Yeah, and I want a number 10, if we're going to play with a number 10, that is going to bag me 15 goals this season. He's going to get me 10 assists.
And I think that's fair. I do agree with Sophie here, though. She says, different game now, Lee, since Bergkamp. Ozil was absent. I'd rather a player who plays like Ødegaard than Ozil. I agree with that. I hated Ozil. I thought the work rate was there. The mentality's there with Ødegaard. I can't stand
mate.
Ozil.
You'll get all his fanboys after you.
Oh, honestly, mate. No, they're all over in Turkey. Or has he been banned from there now? They're going to follow him over somewhere else now. It's unbelievable. The fan base that guy had was madness. I never got Ozil. I'm sorry. I know people say he's great. I never understood the mentality. I think his mentality is like a Neymar or a Pogba or a Balotelli. It's just awful. I can't stand it. And he's been found out, mate. I'm just not a fan. And that's where I'll give Ødegaard credit. I think his mentality looks good. I think he does lead by example on the pitch. And I do like his work rate and his tenacity and his technical ability. But I do question, like you, what are we going to see from him? Goals and assists. That's all I do. But everyone seems to think I hate on him. It's like Ben White. I know you're not a fan. I actually don't mind Ben White in terms of some of his performances, but because I've questioned him and I said he's not as good as Saliba or Gabriel, everyone seems to think that I hate the guy. It's just mad. You say one bit of criticism about one player and the next minute you're a hater. It's absolute mad, isn't it?
You have to have thick skin, mate.
It's unbelievable,
it's like
mate.
People say it to me every day, oh, you're so negative. Well, they still come back and watch it every day. So if it's impacting their life that badly, why don't you stop? Like,
yeah.
And then somebody will say, oh, well, why don't you do that with Arsenal? That's different. That's my football club. You don't have to watch me. I want to watch my football. I have to watch my football club. It's been embedded in my life nearly 40 years. Yeah. And it's like, just quickly on Ben White as well. The reason I don't rate Ben White, I just don't get it. I don't get this fetish that our fans have with him. Oh, he's good on the ball. Well, he should be. He's a professional footballer. Like, it should be a given that you have a good first touch and you're comfortable playing football. You are a footballer at the highest level. Yeah. I just, like, if you go back to the Nottingham Forest game last season, go and have a look at the goal. Go and have a look at that goal again, right? The ball's coming down our left-hand side. I think it was Tierney and Holding, then him and Cedric. He sees Cedric getting overlapped by Graben, right? So now his job should be, any top centre-back would now push over. They wouldn't get sucked into the ball over that side when Holding and Tierney are there. He got sucked all the way over there, Graben, backstick tapping. If he had just pushed over 5 yards that way towards Cedric, that goal don't go in. If you go and watch the goal against Crystal Palace, Mateta, he looks at him. Yeah, last season, he's looking at him. He knows he's right behind him. So his goal side, fair play, his goal side. The ball comes in, ball watching, mouth open, and that's a goal. Mate, I could pick up 5 or 6 like that. He just ain't good enough. And the thing is, when you see Saliba, you just see the levels. That is the level. And then people say, oh, it's a masterstroke. Well, it ain't loaning him out, is it? He was deemed too good enough to play in that league, which is why we brought him. And then we loaned him back out to the same league. It makes no sense. And yes, he scored an own goal and it was unfortunate. The spin on the ball took it in. It was going wide. But he will have a brilliant season at Arsenal. But the one thing I'll say about him, he ain't signed a new contract yet. And that's another thing about this transfer window, Dan. All last season, the back end of last season, these journalists were sitting in the press conferences talking to Arteta about Saka's contract. Well, that's been quietly brushed under the carpet because he ain't signed one either, has he? And he's in the final 2 years. So
it's worrying, mate.
Players, our most promising players, are in the last 2 years of their contract. And it was, let's just get to the end of the season, Arteta kept saying about Saka. Well, we're now in a new season. You know, that's been quietly brushed away, mate.
It has, and it is it is a worry because Saka and Saliba for me are definitely two of the better players that we've got at the moment. And I want to talk about Saliba quickly, mate, before we come to the sort of last section of the show, because I want to get your honest opinion. And you know, I really like this kid. Yeah, I know you will. I really like this kid, man. I think he looks quality. I thought he looked quality in France, and people would say, "Oh, you don't even watch France football." Well, I did when we signed him. I never used to watch it. Weren't really too interested. I didn't watch every single game, didn't watch every single player, but I saw Gabriel and thought he was a good centre half. And I saw Saliba that year because obviously we'd already signed him, and I thought, "Wow, these two look good. These two look good." And I like Gabriel. I'm a big fan. I'm with you. I think he's probably been nothing to write home about the last couple of games, but I do think he's a good player. I look at Saliba and I think, wow, that's everything I wanted to see in a centre half. The composure's there, the distribution's there, the stature's there, his positioning's great. He looks comfortable, he looks confident. Every time the ball goes near him, I just think, I fancy you, mate, to win this. So my question to you is, how good is he? My number one question. My number two question is, what do you make of him going out on loan? Does that now look like a good move or does it look like a stupid move, mate? What's your thoughts, bro?
Well, he's the Mbappe of centre-backs, apparently. Let's hope he ain't, because he'll turn into some mad egotistical footballer that's barging Messi out the way and telling Neymar I'm taking penalties. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They're trying to get Neymar sold, apparently, mate. It's all kicking off over there. But in France, Dan, he was partnered up with Wesley Fofana, who is now rated at 75 million, according to Chelsea.
Yeah.
How comes he didn't need to get loaned back out? Brendan Rodgers put him straight into the team, and I'm not sure if he won Player of the Season, but he was in their top 3, I think. He was absolutely superb that first season. I think he joined Leicester the season after Saliba came to us. I think he was then out for a year. He didn't look great against us, by the way. Apart from that chance that he should have scored, he didn't look fantastic defensively. Martinelli run him ragged, but Saliba was deemed better than him. We've now got a player that's in the final 2 years of his contract, whilst his partner from St Etienne is being linked with Chelsea for around 80-odd million quid now. I think that tells you the management of them two players over the last couple of seasons. And people say, oh, it was a masterstroke loaning him out. Well, it weren't. He was already too good for the French league, which is why we paid 30 million for him. And, you know, people say, oh, he had the loss of his mum and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all I kept hearing when he was getting loaned back out. Right? Well, okay, that's cool. I understand that, but why don't you keep him and play him, wrap him up in cotton wool, give him a support network? He's come to Arsenal, and if you think about it, he was coming to Arsenal and he's had that tragic news, right? So now we want to loan him out. Well, why? We put him back in the under-23s, I think, at one point. So he's training with the first team every single day. He loses his mother, and then we put him straight in the under-23s. I mean, how confusing must that be for a kid? Like, you're in a new country, you're training with the same team every day, and then you get put back in the under-21s. Or 23s or whatever it is. And then we go and loan him back out, and he proves again that he's great. He gets St Etienne into a cup final against PSG, and then this football club priced him out of playing that final because we wanted 2.5 million quid, apparently, for him to play the final as an extra loan fee or something. And he never got to play the final. I think that's disgusting. He was part of the team that got them to that final. Yeah, and I know they lost it, and they probably would have lost it even if he had played, because PSG would have battered them anyway. But the poor lad's gone all the way back to France, got them to a cup final, and then been told, no, Arsenal have said that 2.5 million, and we ain't going to pay 2.5 million for one game, mate. I think that's shocking. And then we bring him back, then he goes on loan again. It's like, mate, come on. Yeah, you can clearly see this guy has every attribute to be a top-class defender for a long, long time. Yeah, you just mentioned all the things, attributes. One thing I've noticed about him is his pace. Yeah,
yes.
He's so quick, Dan. Yeah, and he looks massive on the football pitch, doesn't he? I mean, Gabriel's a big lad. He makes Gabriel look small. Yeah, and like when you see him on the corners and that, it doesn't matter who you put him up against. He's gonna tower over most people. And
mate, Lee, can you just stop being positive for a second, mate? I'm not going to get any views.
Is this going to do the rounds on Twitter? Am I going to go viral on this one? I don't know. Yeah. Oh no, cool start. That won't get your retweets. Lee being positive, will it? But yeah, I just think he has every attribute to be a top player, and that is why it's kind of worrying. He's in the last 2 years of his contract. He's only played 2 league games. He's in the final 2 years of his contract, Dan. Yeah, there's going to be some big teams and we're a big team, a big club. But there's going to be some more successful teams right now sniffing after this guy. And even if he does sign a new contract, they're still going to come sniffing. We'll just get a higher transfer value for him. Same with Saka. Saka's in the final 2 years of his contract. I don't think he's been great for the 2 games either so far this season. But we know he's a slow burner. He starts slow. He started slow last season. And then Spurs, bang, he's gone. Yeah, so hopefully again. But even if he signs a new contract, don't be shocked if the likes of Liverpool and Man City and Barcelona and Real Madrid coming for him. Same with Saliba. Yeah, these top clubs are going to be sniffing around some of our players, and Martinelli's another one. Yeah, Smith Rowe, if he can stay fit, is probably another one. And this is the thing. This is why I didn't want a youth project, Dan. Yeah, have a youth project, have talented youth, which we've got, but go and put some proper players around them that are like in their prime now, because we've got 4. For me, we've got 4 really, really good young players. Really good young players, the 4 I've just mentioned. But then around that, you've got Granit Xhaka, you've got Ben White, you've got injured Tomiyasu all the time. Yeah, the goalkeeper as well, by the way. I think he's been brilliant. Absolutely superb. But again, you know, it's just, for me, we're nearly good. Yeah, but we've been nearly good for 15 years, Dan. Yeah, how about actually be good? You know, we've got Tierney that, like I said earlier, a lot of our fans are saying, get rid of him. He's always injured. He played more games than Tomiyasu last season. Why don't you want him gone? He's played more games in the last 2 seasons than Thomas Partey. Why don't you want him gone? You know, it's like this fan base seems to have their favourites, yeah, which is cool. I've got my favourites as well. The difference is their favourites. Some of these players are just not good enough to even be at the football club. Rob Holding. I mean, what does the guy do apart from be Mikel Arteta's cheerleader? Like, all I've seen in that documentary is him being Mikel Arteta's cheerleader. Like, why is he still here? Oh, yeah, we protected his value, which was nothing in the first place. He shouldn't be at the football club. He ain't good enough. And, like, there's so many players in that not good enough banner for me. And that is where we're going to have our undoing again this season. And a good season for me, Dan, isn't finish 3rd loser. Yeah, we did that for a decade or more under Wenger. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But unfortunately, the standards are so low that if we get top 4 and don't win a trophy, this fan base are going to have the bunting and the party poppers out, mate. Yeah, and after doing nearly 400 million quid under this manager, I expect a title challenge. You know, but everyone, you said earlier about Klopp and this and that at Liverpool. All I heard for the first year and a half of this manager being here is, oh yeah, but it took Klopp 4 years. But it didn't, though, did it? It took him 1 full season to get into the holy grail for Arsenal fans, which is top 4.
And this is my point, Lee, is people seem to think, I believe, last season, if we would have got top 4, that would have been it. Job done. Absolutely. Oh, the hell's he done this? Let's get the champagne out. Now, I said on my last day of TV interview of the season that I didn't come to the Emirates to celebrate 5th. And people were saying that was negative and that was harsh because it was progress from 8th. And I look back and I think, weren't you lot walking around with banners when we come second to Leicester wanting Arsene Wenger out? Because that's what I saw, unless I was dreaming that day.
Well, he got potted or told to leave for finishing 5th and 6th. And then Emery comes in, finished 5th, and was joint 6th when he got sacked. And now, this manager, after 2 full seasons in charge, 250 million before this summer spent, still hasn't amassed more points than Unai Emery's first and only season in charge, with apparently a load of players that didn't want to play for the club. But all of these players want to play for the club, but he can't get more points with them. Why? How's that work? Oh, but the squad, the league's harder now. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Are you telling me that Tottenham and Man United were light years clear of us last season? No. All three of us were bottling that, getting in that fourth spot. All three of us. One week Tottenham would get battered, and then we'd play after, and then we'd lose. Then Man United would play on the Monday night, and they'd lose. Then the following week, we'd play first and win. Then Man United would lose. Then Tottenham. It was just ridiculous. So
it is so true that
the standard of quality in the Premier League. I mean, I say this all the time to people, not just Arsenal, but in general, the standard. Go and have a look how many people can cross a football. Dan, how many times do you see players, right, with a player 1 yard, 2 yards in front of them, and they try and cross the ball? You're never getting it in, mate. Yeah, but it's just percentages. That's all it is. If I cross that 10 times, we'll get 7 corners. And off the corner, we might score. Yeah, how about have a little bit more about you, which is what Man City and Liverpool do. They have more technically gifted footballers at Man City. They don't just whip aimless balls in. Kevin De Bruyne puts them on a plate, back stick, mate. I think Sterling used to get so many goals. Back stick tapping every time. Kevin De Bruyne can cross the ball. Mahrez can cross the ball. Bernardo Silva can cross the ball. Trent Alexander-Arnold can cross the ball. Yeah, Henderson can cross the ball. Robertson can cross the ball. How many players in our club can actually cross the ball properly? How many players in the Premier League after that can cross the ball properly? And the standard is pretty poor. It's really poor, mate, just like in general. And that's why when I see players like Saka and Saliba and Martinelli and Smith Rowe, I think, yeah, cool, you lot are really good players. But now let's go and get some of the better players and pay extra money. Yeah. Go and get top players. Why did we not go and buy Maddison and we done 30 on Ødegaard? Why? Because Maddison was double the money. So it was cheap and cheerful again. How many times are we going to go through cheap and cheerful? Maddison, with the goals he scores, would have got us in the top 4 last season. I believe that. If we went and bought Basuma this summer, and people just like taking the mick out of him for jumping around after a stoppage time equaliser at the bridge yesterday. I mean, it was kind of embarrassing. Yeah, it was proper embarrassing.
And then when Harry Kane came on the interview and said, "We got a last-minute winner." That was the best.
Scored the last-minute winner. I mean,
he does himself no favours.
This is why I don't see that lot as our rivals, Dan. Yeah, I really don't. That club is a shambles.
They are rivals geographically, mate. That is it. There are geographic rivals. That is all they are.
The one thing I'll say about that lot is they do show ambition. They get 100%. Rid of managers. They go and spend money. They go and try and improve.
Conte showed that.
A world-class manager. They've got a world-class striker. And they've bought some very good players.
And a winger. Son's probably the best winger in the world at the moment. One of, anyway. He's class.
He's unreal, mate.
Him and Kane, both
the thing is, because of the country he's from, he ain't ever going to get the praise, is he? A bit like Mahrez. Yeah, they'll never... to be fair, Mahrez is in the Ballon d'Or cut, like the final cut for that, or the first phase of that. Mate. He's unreal, mate. Yeah, but again, that was a player that we should have signed when he left Leicester. And he ended up going to Man City. Why? Because we didn't want to pay the 60 million for him. And this is why
I agree with you,
we spent so much money, Dan. Yeah, but then look at our squad. Look at that squad, mate. Our bench at the weekend had Tina Turner on the bench, Eddie Nketiah, yeah, Tommy Asu. Yeah, I mean, Tommy Asu's not a bad player, but he ain't going to win me a title, Dan. Mate, and when we sell players, I mean, it's even worse. I mean, we've ripped up 7 contracts. I mean, me and you could have done that.
Yeah, I must admit, I don't understand the love for this. Like, someone had to do it. Don't get me wrong. Totally understand that take. But it is not genius at work and miracles by telling Mustafi and Kolasinac they're not good enough and they got to leave. That's not a miracle worker, yeah. That's just facts. They're rubbish. Get rid of them.
And then when you go and get Thomas Partey, you activate the release clause. Well, we could have done that as well, couldn't we? When we phone up Brighton and say, we want Ben White, and they go 50 mil, and we go, okay. Well, we were the only club that wanted him. And we were the only one that were going to pay 50 mil. We could have done that.
No, I think you talk a lot of sense there, Lee. Listen, I've got to get through this couple of super chats here, man. There's respect to you, Dan, and Lee Gunner, of course. Thank you so much, DK, and big up yourself, man. Thank you so much. Smoky Settings, I don't understand this take. I'm hearing this quite a lot as well. I think we should judge him by December. We keep getting this, don't we? I'll give him till Christmas. Give him another window.
Give him another window. Then give him till May. Then May comes. Then I'll give him another summer window. When's it end? When's it going to end, mate? Yeah. Now, I've waited 18 years for this football club to start being a serious club again. Maybe less than that. Maybe 15. Because we were serious up until about 2006. Yeah, after that, 16 years later, they're not a serious club. And unfortunately, mate, a lot of this fan base, especially the ones online, have grown up in the last decade of Wenger's lies and excuses. They've never seen us win a title, a lot of these people. So it's no coincidence that they're coming out with excuses constantly.
Yeah, no, fair play to you, man. Fair play to you. Let's go to the last couple of these. Here we go. Luke Tompkins says, remember when people said you can't change a squad in one summer? Forest have signed 16 and got rid of 20 in this window. Another excuse to cop news. I think this is facts, don't you, Lee? What are you saying there?
Mate, do you know what? That is a great comment as well, right? Because do you remember the Europa League final when Conte lost to Sevilla?
Yes.
Them two teams, between them, signed 34 players, I think it was, or 31 players that summer between them. They both got to the final. Yeah, Conte finished second in the league and lost the Europa League. The following season, he won the league. But Lopetegui, I think it was, won the Europa League. Yeah, with Sevilla, having signed 17 players that summer. So you can go and buy players. It's not illegal to spend money. And this is another thing very quickly, is when Man City and Chelsea were going out blitzing money left, right and centre, oh, they're buying the league. Okay, well, now we're spending more than them. What are we buying? Well, fourth place would be all right, but we've got the best. We've got the best of this, the best of that, the best in every position. We've got the best manager. Okay, cool. Where are we going to finish then, mate? Well, if we can get top four and if we can win the Europa League, right, but I'm going to hold this club to the standard that I've grown up on. I've seen us win 17 trophies, Dan. I ain't dropping that standard. I'm going to hold this club to account from what Edu has said this summer. It's about time we start competing for trophies. I'm going to hold this club to the standard that 4 of our players have come out and said, we're going to go for the Europa League. Ramsdale, Smith Rowe, Ødegaard, and Xhaka have all said Europa League and top 4. Cool. Well, if you do neither, I want all of you gone. I want every single one of you gone. Yeah, if we don't win anything, and we don't win anything, he said it's all about trophies. First, I want you to sack Arteta, and then I want you to resign, mate. Because if you're coming out talking the big talk, and you're putting it out there saying it's about trophies now, you best deliver some trophies this season. If you don't, you can all leave. Yeah, because otherwise it's just proof again that they're liars, Dan. When we see,
and it's proof again that we're accepting mediocrity. That's what it is.
Fact.
Yeah, 100%, man. Listen, let's put this one up there as well. Thanks for your super chats, guys, and thank you, Chuck. Says, hi, Dan. I'm wondering who is your ideal manager once Arteta is sacked. Also, are you going to join Lee Gunner on loan to Man City? Listen, Lee's brave. I don't do loans, but Lee is brave. He does loans, man. And fair play to him.
Mate, my loan at City is going all right. I won the title last season.
It's done all right, bro. Yeah, you've done well since.
I got my
and you got your favourite player, Mahrez, with your shirt and everything. So you're fine,
I can't wait till we play them again. Do you know what's funny, Dan? When we lost 5-0 to them, I sat there with my Mahrez Algeria shirt on, which ironically, was sent to me by Algerian Arsenal Supporters Club. Yeah, they sent me that shirt free of charge. Yeah, with Mahrez 7 on the back. Big up to Salim. Yeah, he sent me that. And when we got battered 5-0, I had it on. Not one person moaned that I was wearing Mahrez 7. When we lost 2-1 in stoppage time in the return fixture, oh, the meltdown, Dan. Oh, he's got a Mahrez shirt. Yeah, it's an Algeria shirt, mate. I didn't see any English people crying that I was wearing an Algeria shirt. Only Arsenal fans crying it had Mahrez on it.
No, it is mad. It is mad. I remember that stream you doing it. Someone had texted me saying, "Oh, Lee Gunner's got a Mahrez shirt on. Have you seen it?" I said no, and I looked. I thought, "Wow, that is unreal."
Do you know what the funny thing is? Where I live, there's a lot of Moroccans here because it's so close to Morocco. I can actually see Morocco today, Dan. I can see Gibraltar today. Gibraltar Guard's on the rock because it's so clear. I can see it, right? But when I wear that Mahrez shirt out and about, like if I go to the Mercadona supermarket, mate, the looks I get from Moroccans is hilarious. Yeah, because Morocco and Algeria are neighbours. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, they're looking at me thinking, hang on, he can't be Algerian.
He can't be Algerian, yeah. Man, it's crazy. Listen, if he does go, he's not going to get sacked, in my opinion. But if he does go, and it starts going wrong, then it's got to be Diego Simeone. For me, it's got to be Diego Simeone. I would take Mancini, and if you wanted to go with a younger manager that hasn't won anything, that's got potential, I go for Graham Potter. Otherwise, I don't really want any of the others. I don't really want Pochettino. I don't really want any of the other guys.
The thing with Simeone is he's on about 40 million quid a year, which is all I keep. Oh, he's on 40 million a year. Mate, we paid Mesut Ozil 153 million quid in transfer fee and wages and agent fees and image rights. And you're crying about 40 million a year. Yeah, we paid Aubameyang 20 million a year. We paid Ozil 20 million a year. You know, we paid Lacazette, 8, 9, 10 million a year? Maybe more.
Yeah, it was, man. It's mad, isn't it, bro? It's mad.
Simeone,
I look at it. Simeone for me is a winner, and he wins ugly. And I don't care about winning ugly because I grew up on George Graham and we did that quite a few times, mate. Trust me. People want to win beautifully like Pep and like Klopp and like Wenger did when he was at his best. And that isn't always the way, man. If you can win games, I'll be happy. And, you know, if it does go wrong for Mikel Arteta, I don't want to see another inexperienced manager coming in. I want to see a winner and someone who can spend 400 million and win a title and a Champions League, mate, because that's the way that we should be looking at it. I didn't move to the Emirates to become an 8th, 8th and 5th and getting excited. That's for sure. Mate, I've got to bring this one up lastly because this guy's put this in the comments 7 times, right? And I know you don't care if I do this, right? GQ, Lee Gunner will be out of business by the end of the year.
Mate, I was out of business when the season ended, apparently. I was out of business.
What is this all about? Talk to me about this. I hear this a lot, man. What is this about?
I get it every day. Do you know what, Dan? It's hilarious, man, because none of these people were to be seen all summer. Like as soon as that was confirmed that we finished 5th, I ain't seen none of these people in my comment section, mate. But as soon as we come back and win a couple of games, oh, you're in the mud, you're out of business, mate. Go and have a look at my most viewed videos. In the top 15, I think there's only 4 losses. Yeah, the rest are all positive videos, mate. One's the FA Cup final win. I think that's on about 90,000 views. The FA Cup semi, I think, got more views than that. I think my most viewed video is about the prat in the hat. That's now the prick in the nick. I've done a Champions League watch along for PSG versus Bayern Munich. I think that's on about 100k. Why have 100k come and watched it, bro? Like, how can I get 65,000 views on a pre-season friendly fan cam? Right, 65k when I put Arsenal 6, Sevilla 0, happy Lee Gunner. What a performance! Why did 65,000 people come and watch it? The quicker this club win, the more views I'll get, the more money I'll get. The happy days, isn't it? Because it's all about the money. Money makes the world go round, and it's not just about making the world go round. Money gives you more freedom. Yeah, and that's all I want. I just want to do what I want when I want, and not be tied down by anyone or to anything. So yeah.
I've had this before, like, you know, you're negative, you're toxic. I get the same as you, mate. And I think Kenny Ken does. I think some of the other guys demand the best. And this one makes me laugh because, and I like this, and he's not giving it to us, by the way, and he's kindly put us in super chat. And he's just saying what we get quite a lot. Big up Dan and Lee, you're both in the mud. And if you can't see what he's doing, you can F off down the lane. We get this all the time. I don't get this. Why would I want to go and F off down the line? Oh, no, I know he is. That's what I said at the start.
Yeah, but Dan, do you know what it is? These people that say you'll be out of business and all of this and that. Well, we won't, because you keep coming back and watching it, mate. Yeah, maybe if you all stopped watching it, I'd have half the views.
No, you're right, mate. You're right. It's mad, isn't it?
I'm going to say this all seasons, people. Now, like I had some geezer running his mouth to me on Instagram the other day. I posted a post about Jesus, yeah, right, and he said something about like waffling. And somebody in my chat the other day, like, as soon as full-time whistle goes or Arsenal score or whatever, my chat lights up with all these people. It's like your first thought is Lee Gunner, not celebrating a win. Like random. Yeah, really random. But my thing to him now is, cool, give me your email address. I'll send you the link and you can come on and tell me something I don't know about my football club, mate. How about that? Yeah, straight away they don't. They just disappear. You never see them again.
They'll disappear then. Yeah, man.
It's like Eminem 8 Mile. Now tell these people saying I don't know.
Mate, last one of the night, man, is Smokey Settings, and big up himself, man. And I like Smokey because he's always respectful with it. Says, I hear what you're saying, Lee, but when Wenger took over in '96, we didn't win the league in his first 3 seasons, and we won an FA Cup. He thinks it's just about patience. Fair play, that's his opinion. I disagree. I think we've given this guy time. We've given these owners time.
After getting it.
But yeah, he did. I don't know what he's talking about there. But
he won it in '98.
98, he won it. Yeah, he did. But I think what he's meaning is a bit of patience, and it might get us somewhere. But listen,
mate, patience don't get you anywhere, right? If you're an elite football club, the aim of elite or any elite sport, the aim of elite sport is to win the trophy.
Win.
Yeah, if you're Anthony Joshua going up against Alexander Usyk at the weekend, yeah, they're both going in there to punch each other up and win the belt. Yeah, they're not going to come out there and go, oh well, it don't matter, I came second. No, the aim of elite sport is to be the best. Right, and patience. When people, and big up to you for watching, mate. Yeah, and it's not like I'm not going to dig you out or nothing. But for me, the aim of elite sport is to win. Patience. There is no patience in football, in elite football. There ain't. Yeah, at the end of the day, like the amount of money spent, the amount of money that the fans spend, like it's unbelievable, Dan. The highest season ticket price in the world, and they've put them up again 4% for this season, and people are just marching off down there like it's nothing. Yeah, we'll now start winning. Yeah, we've been the most patient fan base in any sport for as long as I can remember, mate.
Yeah, facts.
Smashed the stadium down. I remember that Peter Hillwood in 2002 saying, yeah, we've got funding for Ashburton Grove from Barclays. Yeah, we're going to go and move and we're going to go and compete and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we then move into the stadium and it's been a laughing stock ever since. But we were competing at that stadium, and I could do it. I've done streams on it before, Dan. We did not knock that stadium down to compete. We knocked that stadium down with the view of getting as much money off of a global fan base, which was getting bigger and bigger because Sky Sports and other media companies were beaming Premier League football all around the world for the first time in a lot of countries at that time. And it was new and it was big, big and big and big. And then the other option, the other thing that they wanted was the Super League. Yeah, it was nothing to do with competing with the best, but what they'd done, yeah, and this is why I always call them out, yeah, and I will call them out again. They sit there and say, we were smashing that stadium down to go and compete. No, we weren't. We weren't. Yeah, they knew what they were doing, and they took the piss by doing it when we were the best. So nobody was going to question it, Dan. Yeah, we went that whole season, we won a double in 2002. We didn't get the funding. 2004, we go invincible. 2006, Champions League final. Yeah, 2005 FA Cup.
Already competing with the best. Already.
Yeah, already competing with the best. So in our heads, we're going, yeah, cool, we'll have some of that. New stadium, let's go and be the best, win Champions Leagues. Nothing to do with that, mate. They duped us. And you see the likes of Lady Bracewell Smith. Oh, I sold my shares to the wrong person. Shut up. Yeah, you're tweeting that out your £10 million house in London, love. Yeah, I'm quite sure you don't really care. Yeah, it's what I mean. It's
facts,
mad.
man.
I've done streams on that before about how it all went wrong, and it's never recovered ever since. So as much as people want to blame the Kroenke family, yeah, the Kroenke family didn't own a single share when that happened. They didn't own a single share until 2007, by which time we were already in the Emirates Stadium. So, yeah, whilst they're not great, yeah, we have to have a look before that as well, mate.
Fair play, Lee. I'm going to wrap it up. Before I do, bro, I'm going to ask you what your prediction is for Arsenal this season in relation to where you think we're going to finish in the league and if you think we're going to win anything, man. So what do you think, bro?
Outside the top four, I think the top four will be the top four from last season. Not sure what order, but I think Man City will win the title. Not sure about Chelsea, Tottenham. I think it'd be the top two would be the top two. Not sure about Chelsea, Tottenham, but it depends. Will we win anything? Nah, I don't think so, mate, if I'm honest. People are making out we're just going to walk the Europa League. You couldn't even beat Villarreal or Olympiacos. So, I mean, like, what are you talking about? Like, real talk. Yeah, couldn't even beat Olympiacos, and we were winning the game with about 5 seconds to go. Yeah, great. Couldn't even beat the previous manager. And then you look at the teams that are in it. Then you look at the
who's going to win it. If it ain't Arsenal, you know who's going to win it, don't you? It's going to be Roma under Jose.
Jose, yeah. And this is what makes me laugh. Like, people are sitting there making out it's going to be simple to win this competition. Now imagine Atletico Madrid drop into it. Well, the last time that happened, they beat us in the semi, mate. And then went on and won it. Yeah?
Yeah.
I was at the game. Diego Costa scored. That was when Koscielny booted the ball off his head at the Emirates when we should have pumped him 6-0. Yeah, and we ended up drawing 1-1, and then went out to Madrid and Costa scored the goal for them, Diego Costa. But yeah, we ain't winning that. The best we can hope for is a League Cup if we're really lucky, and City take that seriously. And they'll want that because they didn't win it last season.
Yeah, I fancy. I don't think we'll do anything in domestic cups because he doesn't seem to take them seriously for whatever reason. Now he's won the FA Cup. The last couple of seasons, we've been a shambles in those competitions. Like the last season, we got the semi-final and we sold all of our midfield and gave it away to Africa because they went to the African Cup of Nations. So we got battered by Liverpool over the 2 legs. Even though we did all this amazing show about us getting a draw at Anfield, only to get battered at home because we had no team.
Yeah,
we got battered by Forest.
Like Ben White standing there going, ha ha, to Minamino. That went well, didn't it, mate?
Yeah, that was embarrassing, wasn't it? And
Why didn't he just wait until after the 2 legs?
And then playing Lukonga and Patino against Forest and wondering why we got overrun in midfield and lost the game. So I mean, this is a disgrace, actually, to be fair, the last couple of years. We rolled over against Southampton as well. People that don't take those 2 domestic cups seriously, I've got no time for, and obviously he's never done that, which is what I've given him a lot of stick for. But he's got to win the Europa League for me, and he's got to get in the top 4. I'm sorry, I can't be dealing with this. Go on.
Sorry. Do you think all the people that are saying exactly what you've just said, top 4 and Europa League is a must this season? Do you think all these people at the end of the season, if neither happen or just one happens, that they're all going to give them a clean slate again? Because I think
Yes,
they will. It all sounds great at the minute, and it's funny that 4 of our players and Edu have come out and said pretty much the same thing. And now all of a sudden, most of the fan base are going, "Oh yes, Europa League in top 4." If the players and Edu had come out and said something slightly different, they'd all be pushing that one. Yay! It's like, come the end of the season, if neither happen or one happens, this fan base will go, "Yep, clean slate. We were so close to doing X, Y, and Z. Give them another window." Yeah, and it's just
I agree.
We're wasting time, Dan. Go and get a proper manager, give him 400 million, and we're in a title race, and we're in the Champions League, and we'll probably get out the group comfortably and get to the latter stages of it. If Simeone was our manager last season, we would have pissed top 4, and we probably would have won a cup. Yeah, and he would have drop kicked Granit Xhaka out the football club real quick.
Mate, I think you're talking facts, and I've always wanted Simeone. He's always been a manager that I want. And I will say this. It's been at times, people will say, "Oh, Dan and Lee have been negative in this stream." It has been at times because there is a lot still wrong at the football club. It has been a positive start. We've seen this before, not last season, but we have seen it before, and it can go wrong very quickly. This is a very, very difficult league, and everything can go right, everything can go wrong. But what I will say is this: I don't want to hear no more excuses from this Arsenal fan base about how he needs more windows and how he needs more time, and how this still isn't his team, and how the World Cup got in the way of the season, and how I don't want to hear any more excuses. This is time for him now to deliver. This is his side. There's nobody in that side that isn't either been signed by him or given a contract by him. So he wants those players, as far as I'm concerned. There's still more, I believe, that will come in. Not 5 or 6 that we need, but maybe a couple more. And I believe that it has to be those demands for me. You've got to win that Europa League, and you've got to get into the Champions League places through the league. None of this coming 8th and winning the Europa League. None of this not winning the Europa League, missing out on 5th, but actually it was only a point, so let's give him another go. No, we're done with this rubbish. I've had enough of this crap from these people. We have to be showing progress. And for me, the next progress, it's the only good thing about this season, Lee. The next thing progress is top 4. If he doesn't get that, we're not progressed. Yeah, none of this, we come 8th this year and 5th is great. It's like basically having a car and coming 5th and then going 8th one year and then coming 7th and going, it's progress now, but you're already in 5th, so you're still behind. I hate all this nonsense.
Mate, I've got a friend of mine who goes home and away, right? And he's been on marches to get Wenger out with me, marching down the road with the banners and all of that. He only texts me when Arsenal win. Like, "Oh, yeah, what are you saying now, mate?" That's what he does to me now, yeah? So I said to him before the season started, I said, what's the aim for the season? What's your target? He said top 4 and try and win some cups. I said, okay, cool. I said, so if you don't do any of that, would you sack him? "Oh, well, it depends, because if he got to 2 cup finals and lost them both, could you really sack him?" And this is the thing, Dan. It's just constant excuse. If we get to 2 cup finals and lose them and miss out on top 4 by 1 point, it's like, yeah, but I can't really say that I'd sack him. You couldn't really sack him off of that, could you? And it's like, mate, come on. And this is what it's going to be. If we get a cup final this season and lose it, that would be the narrative. "Oh, you can't really sack him after getting to the cup final. Oh, but he missed out by 1 point. And, we were unlucky because VAR in this and Tottenham this and Chelsea that." Dan, it's boring, man. We've done this for 15 years, mate. 15 years. A cycle of rubbish. It's about time the excuses stop. And the only way the excuses stop is if the ex-players, the journalists, the players, the managers stop peddling out rubbish. And then people start saying it as it is. Unfortunately, mate, we're in a tiny, tiny little minority on tiny, tiny little platforms. Yeah?
Yeah. Listen, facts, man. We're going to end it there. Lee, listen, man, big up yourself. Thanks so much for coming on, bro. And I look forward to you speaking to you more regularly on this channel. I've put Lee Gunner's YouTube channel in the description. Please make sure you go and subscribe to it. And you'll see both of us on here regularly. So I really appreciate you coming on, Lee. Top man, mate. What you got going on your channel, bro? Anyway, you must have mad content at the moment.
I just did, before I came on here, the disgraceful decision to give Granit Xhaka vice captain. I did a stream on that. So
I can't believe that still.
Tomorrow, I'm on Football Terrace. That's going to be hilarious. He was on one. All or nothing. Terry Fluer's edition tomorrow, mate. And then straight after that,
I saw his rant after at half time or whatever.
Class, wasn't it? Absolutely class. Yeah, I'm going to rip him tomorrow, mate. He's getting destroyed. Yeah, he actually put a tweet out right before the Man United game, whilst we were just finishing our game, saying Lee Gunner is in the mud. And then about 40 minutes later, he did that. Yeah. Oh, who's in the mud now, Terence? But yeah, so I'm on his channel. I'm not sure what time, but I think we're going to do it in the morning. Straight after that, midday UK time, me and Rance are on my channel.
Wicked, mate. Wicked. Now I look forward to that, man. Make sure you go and subscribe to Lee Gunner as well. And please smash a like on this video and subscribe if you can, man. I'm on the road to 5K is my target. I'm nearly at 4K. Don't even know what I'm at the moment, but I'm on my way there. Shouldn't be too far now to get to the magic number 4. On the way to top 4, yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Listen, this has been class. I've loved it. It's great to have you on, Lee. We'll see you all soon. Thanks so much for being a part of the chat. Thanks for your super chats. Absolute mad. There's been well over 300 to 400 of you watching live, which is great numbers for me, only starting 6 weeks ago. So really, really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Until next time, up the Arsenal. Take care, people.